Okay, let's continue learning. In the last 3 videos, we talked about what doesn't work in relationship. And now it's the time to really learn what we should look for in a partner. Everyone has a different preference in terms of their ideal partner, right? So we did the blueprint and your ideal soulmate list. And in that, most of us list some personal traits and how we feel together when we're living the life together. Those are good. These are actually very initially going to attract to someone because of the chemistry, because of the personal traits. His ability can make you laugh, or you guys share the common interests, travel together, play tennis together, things like that. But however, they are not the determination you will have a truly happy relationship. There's 6 characters and qualities you should look for because they are universal to build a foundation for your healthy relationship. And you can look for those 6 qualities. Each of you can look for the partners because they are universal. They should have in each partner you're going to be spending the life with. And let's explore what is the 6 qualities. And before I'm going through each qualities, I actually really want to see the definition of what's the character and the personality. So the character is a mental and a moral quality distinctive to an individual. And the personality is a combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual's distinctive character. So, which means the character was innate, was already built. You cannot change unless he wants to change. So you're not going to get into an investment project to say, oh, let's change him for that. You're going to find someone who already has those character personalities right now. Okay, that's the major difference. Okay, so now let's go through the first one. The first quality is a commitment to personal growth. So if you find someone who's already committed to his own personal growth, your relationship will be much easier. Because down the road, when you face the situation, like if you feel there's a problem in relationship, you want to walk through, and he's not gonna say no. Or if you want to improve something, he's not gonna deny, he will be participating with you together. So here is the sign. He is committed to learning everything he can about how to be a better person and how to be a better partner. So when either it's a small fight or big crisis happening in life, you guys can be learning together as a team to work through the situation instead of just one person, the power struggle. He's trying to make him right, you're wrong, and then you feel, you're right, he was wrong. So it's more like working as a team to solve the problem because he's committed. And also he's willing to receive help and guidance in the form of books, tapes, lecture, seminar, even counseling if necessary. My second marriage failed because I realized we had a problem in marriage. And I asked my ex-husband if he was willing to go counseling, marriage counseling together. And he said no. He said, I don't need that kind of help. I'm good. See, if the relationship can never really work out if one person in denial. As simple as that. And also to check out if he has a personal goals for his, self-improvement. And not only that, he takes action, not only lip service. So if he said he's gonna stop, smoking, and he really will take the action, do it, instead of just always, promise you he's gonna stop, but continue smoking. Okay. The next one will be, you have to evaluate how he's open on his emotional level. Relationship is not only sharing a home together or a bed together. It's really about sharing the feelings together. That's how you create intimacy. If you only share a home, that's called a roommate. Roommate comes, goes. You don't have to talk much. You don't have to share your feelings. You're sad, you're happy with your roommate. So it's more like a living arrangement. You live together in the same roof, but that's not called an intimate relationship. So when you look for a partner, it's important, you gotta find out if he has feelings. If he knows what he is feeling and choose to share those feelings with you, not holding by himself, and know how to express those feelings, or willing to learn how to express those feelings to you. And some men, they have feelings because they didn't know how to share with you, so they just hold them. But if he's willing to learn how to share those feelings, how to express, and there's an exercise that can help you guys. But that's important, is to know if he's open. So emotional openness, it's like emotional generosity. Some people, they're generous about their time. There's some people, they're generous about the money. But this is the people who are generous about the love. They share their feelings. They will say they love you, they appreciate what you do. And you deserve someone who love and appreciate you on a constant basis, not always holding their love for you. So that's actually important. This is actually really important to me because my dad was an emotionally available man, and I've been into several relationships, and at the end I found out that they're all the same. They were not emotionally open to me. It's not they didn't want to, they just didn't have that capacity. They didn't know how. Some refused to learn. So that's why relationship couldn't go anywhere. The next one will be the integrity. And we all agree, right? So the honesty, integrity, worthiness is important in relationship. And let's just take a look. What is the definition of integrity? The quality of being honest and have a strong moral principles. So when you are in relationship, if you feel you can trust your partner, you will feel emotional security. You feel safe. But on the opposite, if you're living with someone who's constantly lying to you, and you always be intense, you cannot relax because you're always doubting, and then later on become resentful. So it's important to find out if someone, the person you are dating, who is honest with himself. So if he said he broke up with his ex-girlfriend, but if he's still talking to his ex-girlfriend every day, that means he's not honest with himself. He said he's gonna stop drinking, but still every time he passing by the bar, he will went in to get himself drunk. Also to see if he's honest with others. Does he lie to clients, co-workers, his family members? If he lies a lot, eventually he's gonna lie with you because you want him to be honest with you. He's not hiding his part of life or his personality from you. He's not only talk the things you want to hear, he tell the truth with you. And someone who doesn't play games, no manipulation, he's upfront about what he's looking for and how he feels about you, about the relationship. So naturally, if your partner is consistently telling the truth, you will just naturally trust him. Because I have a client really asked me, how can I trust my boyfriend? See, intuitively, she didn't trust him because her boyfriend constantly lying. So now move to the next one as a maturity and a responsibility. And I have a personal story related to this quality. And I dated a guy who is very sweet. And he loves me, like he said, every day he will tell how much he loves me. He taking me out, dinners and weekends activity. We have done lots of things together. But then there's two things I realized to cause us the relationship, ended is first, he used all the credit cards to buy all the trips, all the, meals. By end of the 2 months, he accumulated about 10,000 debts on his credit card. The second is he's emotionally so immature and he's just not ready for intimate relationship because he more acted like a child to me. So I noticed the sign. So this is the signs your partner is mature enough to have a relationship. He can take care of himself. He has enough money to support himself. I didn't know until I saw his credit card bill. He didn't have the money, but he spent it anyway. That's a huge, huge red flag. So it's important that he can take care of himself and he has enough money to support himself. And he can feed himself. You don't want to be his mother cooking for him all the time, especially if you go away, right? And he can live, his living space is relatively clean. And you don't want to clean up, the stuff, the mess on the floor when you guys live in together. So it's important that he's independent, he can take care of himself without you. And also to see if he's responsible. Will he do the things he said he's going to do? Does he keep his promise, show up on time, and respect your time? And not letting people down. If he's respectful, respect your feelings, that's very important, your time, your boundaries, and your obsession, your environment. Does he respect the people around him, his spouse, co-workers, friends, family, and does he respect other people's feelings? So this is the maturity, the responsibility really determine if you're living with a doll or you're living with a child. So the next one will be the high quality 5, high self-esteem. Let's look at the definition, because I have a client ask me, really the self-esteem, the confidence in one's own worth or ability. It's equivalent to self-respect and dignity. There's a saying, he can only love you as much as he loves himself. So if he cannot take a pride in in himself, if he walks around, feels sorry and embarrassed about himself, if he constantly put himself down, then he has no pride in himself. And the more he loves himself, the less he will abuse himself, physically and emotionally. So you can really see how people feel about himself by just observing how he treats himself, the way he eats, the food, the environment he lives in, how he takes care of his body. Does he have addictions, drinking problem, drug user? Those are all mere reflection of self-esteem. And again, if he loves himself enough, he will not allow other people to mistreat him. So some people complaining to me how badly they were treated by their partners. And I always tell them, if you've been treated like this, that's your reflection of your low self-esteem. The people with a low self-esteem, they love because they want to feel good in order to feel good. And the people with a high self-esteem, they love because they feel good about themselves. They want to spread out the love for other people. So it's a major difference. One is in order to feel good about themselves. And the other one is they already feel good about themselves. So in relationship, you don't want to get into someone with a lower self-esteem, because by the end, you feel exhausted and resentful, and you are being mistreated. So the last one is also the self-confidence by taking action. Some people can talk, but they never really take chances, never reach for the goals. That's called a procrastinator. Procrastinator, actually, most of a procrastinator has a low self-esteem, and they're afraid of failing. And they will feel like if they fail, they will end up feel worse about themselves. So they're not going to take action. The last quality you look for is positive attitude towards life. We all have a positive energy and a negative energy, right? So if you hang out with negative people, and you will have a more like negative thinking pattern. So here's the thinking pattern. Always focus on the problem, resist the solutions, always find something or someone to complain about. Never their problem, their own problem. It's always something else or someone else. And fear and worry all the time, don't trust. And positive people, on the opposite, is focus on the solution and turn obstacles into opportunity. We always have obstacles in life, but how to turn those into opportunities and trust their ability to make a difference. Believe things always get better. That is really important. Any situation you run into, you always believe things can get better. And they use their vision to change their reality. So I'm telling you, naturally, negative people create negative relationships, and positive create positive relationships. So when you go out, look for partners, you want to find someone that has a positive attitude, because it will work through the conflict faster, and there's less blame and more cooperation in relationship. Overall, just the relationship will feel easier. instead of you always feel drained, exhausted because of the energy. So here is the 6 qualities, characters I really want you to look for in a partner. So today, actually, I have a homework for you. And after this coaching, I'm gonna actually send you questions, a list of the questions really related to each 6 qualities. So I want you to look at the questions to answer by yourself first, to see if you have these 6 qualities in yourself first. And then you can take those questions and go back to your partner to ask them. Of course, you're not going to ask one time, but gradually, because that's the question. By the answer, you really can identify if they possess those 6 qualities. And unless they want to change, like I said, you are not the one to make them change, and otherwise there will be problem for your relationship down the road. Okay, so have a fun to do the exercise, and then let me know if you have any questions. And see you next time. Bye.